Hey guys, what's going on? Well, I had the idea that I want to do another Craigslist cheap vehicle video today. So this time I think we're going to do pickup trucks because everybody loves trucks. Everybody loves cheap trucks. And I know everybody tends to think when you look on Craigslist for $1,000 you're going to find a Duramax or a four-wheel drive uh, power stroke extended cab or something like that. Sure we are. Of course you are. Yep, that's what's out here for that price. But we know better though, don't we? So I thought we would just entertain ourselves for another 20 minutes and take a look at the stuff that's floating around out here that people are trying to sell to people and see what we got here. I put in my price range from $10 to, from $100 to $1,000. Hopefully that'll make it more likely we'll actually see some good cheap junk on here instead of these people that are putting nice cars and trucks up for $1 just to get you to look at it. So to give you a quick anecdote, I just bought a cheap Craigslist Dodge Ram a couple months ago. You've seen that on this channel, but it wasn't. It was a little over $1,000. It was $1,300, and then I bought one a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, something like that, for $1,700. So it's really, this is interesting because it's really hard to find a truck that's usable for this little amount of money. Trucks just bring money. So I'll give you a little forecast. I've not looked through these. I don't, they're all blue, so you can tell I've not clicked on them. So I haven't got my script together before we look at these. But I can tell you from just my experience that we're going to find a lot more 4-cylinders and mini trucks, and if it's full-size trucks, probably ain't going to run or ain't going to move. So again, if we see somebody's phone number in the ad, please don't call them unless you want to buy their vehicle. I guess you could, but all right, what's up here? And I'm just doing this handheld because it's hard for me to get the camera stand in here at this computer like this, so bear with me. Okay, first up, looks like we got a 1996 Nissan hard body for $600. Yeah, it's kind of dirty. Oh, okay. Huh, looks like we got some parts in there. What do I reckon that is? It's automatic. That ain't good. Every one of those I've ever seen that's automatic has no reverse. If something goes on with those transmissions, they lose reverse. Oh, I like that. That's different. No bed. Not many people can pull off the no bed look, but it's doing okay. Yeah, not bad. 1996 Nissan Hardbody needs a transmission. I jinxed it. Was running before part, 207,000 miles. Selling as is. I do have the bed for it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. Well, if you have the bed for it, why is the bed not on it? Looks like it's straight piped out right there, doesn't it? Yep, these are hard bodies. It seems like there's two problems go wrong with them. Either lose the transmission if it, well, you know what? I was about to say automatic, but I've seen them automatic and manual fail. I don't know what Nissan's issue was with the transmissions they used. I think they're both Jatco transmissions, which is not too good a recommendation for those, or is it? But those are either the timing chain has problems. Okay. Here we go. Here's another one. Here's an 89 Nissan hardbody pickup truck, 4-cylinder, 5-speed, needs a motor. Not bad. Looks like it's had a cheap paint job put on it, and it just looks too shiny. And I see overspray under the wheels right there. See how it's light colored? Yeah, somebody's thrown a Mako special paint job on that one, which is not a big deal. See how stuff's been painted over right there. It's got an old tag on it. That's not even a current Alabama tag. Deal is with that one. So anyway, we know it's had a paint job, so somebody's tried to spruce it up. So what's wrong with the engine? Bad motor with fresh paint. Yeah, okay, he admits that. It's a 2.4 Z24 engine with 8 plugs. The motor can go in for $250. It's its engine off of 1995 with only 4 spark plugs. Well, you got a problem there, possibly because that Z24 engine is not the same as the one with 4 plugs. That one with 4 plugs in it is a I think that's a KA24 or K24. Anyway, it's more or less a different engine, so he probably found that out. Sounds like a good deal, but yeah. Alright, here's a 1995 Dodge Ram 1500 sport truck. These things are everywhere. This is what I bought. I didn't buy an extended cab. I see, just without looking at the stuff, I always like to look at the pictures first because that kind of tells me what the problem might be with it. Boy, that thing looks rusty. I see. Let's see around the fender wells. See rust in the fender right there. Sorry for the camera. I don't know what that is. It looks like the rocker panel's rusted out of it. Okay. Ew. That's another one. Boy, oh yeah, that thing's crusty. $650. You think you're gonna get $650 for that thing? That thing looks like, look at that. That thing looks like you pulled it out of the junkyard. No. That's the one thing that people in the South are terrified of is rust. Like that kind of rust. Truck will be carried over scales on Monday. I can get $700. Yeah. Sure you can. Let's think about your logic. Now, if you can get $700, why are you trying to do it here for $650? Why would you purposely, unless that's a lie, which it probably is, why are you trying to lose $50 this weekend only? This truck is rusty. Did turn over, no spark. Now it won't start. Will have to be towed. Will not be able to pull. Manual 4-wheel drive. New brake lines, new this, new that, new rotary button, clean title. Please text. I do not typically answer phone calls. It's because you probably get them from a lot of people that try to collect money or something. No. That's one of those they're trying to dare you to buy it. Here's one's a little interesting. Here's an 80 Toyota truck. I had a Toyota truck about that age one time that was a little bit older than that. The one I had was a 78. 1980 Toyota truck, 4-speed. Ron's good. Ron must be pretty good. Just needs a little work. Call the phone number. $800, Tiger seat only, no title. That's because you don't have to have a title that old anymore. 35 years. Anything older than 35 years old in this state now, you don't need a title. That'd probably be a decent truck. If it's not knocking or doing something bad, it'd be $800 a little steep. I'd have to try to get it cheaper than that, but that'd be a prospect. Here's a Buick LeSabre or a Park Avenue. We don't give one flying crap about. This truck, I think this is one this guy's had for sale for a long time. I'm not sure. No, there's one just like this one. I was almost going to look at, but I decided against it. Here's an 88 Dodge Dakota 4x4, $800. Runs and drives great, good hunting truck. One picture. Yeah, okay. He's got over here, he's got a Dodge Avenger. He's got kind of an identity crisis. I don't know. He's not telling you much about it, so it's probably going to be one of those cases where it's what he's not saying is what's important. Here's a 1997 GMC Jimmy. Boy, I despise these things. It's not because I've ever owned one. It's just that it's not against anybody that ever owns one of these, but it's just, when I look at one of these things, they're like a Dodge Caravan or something. I think, you can't believe how many people in this country bought such an average vehicle. A lot of them are two-wheel drives, and there's just nothing great about them. I mean, there's probably nothing bad about them, really, but there's nothing great about them. It's just middle of the road. It's like you didn't want to do terrible and buy something like a Suzuki Sidekick, but you didn't want to do very great and buy something like a Toyota 4Runner. Truck starts and will run. Needs work, must be towed till fixed. Reason is I don't want a chance at breaking down again before being fixed. What? Running sluggish. That's okay. I don't mind sluggish. Missing driver's side mirror, $800 best in power. Everything has a sunroof. Well, that changes it. It doesn't say if it's four-wheel drive or not. My vote would be it's not four-wheel drive. Yeah. That. Nope. Here's your Suzuki. You want a Suzuki? Just talk about Suzukis. Been setting for a couple years. Rusty gas tank? With a question mark? I'd say yes. Rough, make good parts truck or mud buggy as is. It'd be fun for what it is. There's a Dodge Intrepid. The only reason that thing is probably still running is because it's got a 3.2 V6 in it. Now I know we're looking at trucks, but I'm kind of looking at this one. Dependable car. Reliable. Heads and timing belts redone about a year or so ago. There is an oil leak somewhere. Yeah, that's a different version of the engine than those things. That one, for whatever reason, didn't have the problems in the other one, or at least not near the extent of them. Okay, here's a 94 Chevy 1500 V6 two-wheel drive. The big blue piece of junk, if you ever watched UXW Bill's videos. Runs great, needs transmission work. Motor only has 85,000 miles on it. Toolbox and hitch light, new tires all around. Great work truck with a little attention. The only thing about this is that, for this kind of money, you don't want to have to do anything to it. I mean, nobody spends something like $800 or $900 on a truck like this, just a plain old two-wheel drive, long bed truck, and then have to fix it, It's just a buzzkill. It really is. Stuff like that's just really hard to sell. Here's a 65 roller short base. I'm not even looking at that because most of it's gone. Like Uncle Phil says, it's gone. Oh yeah, by the way, Uncle Phil's doing good. Here's a 2003 Ford Ranger, $800. Now, as popular as these things are for being such a, yes, I know everybody's gonna hate me for saying it, but such a average truck, they've still got a extremely strong resale on these things. So before you even click it, don't expect to open this thing up and it say there's nothing wrong with this truck. It's perfect for $800. Let's see what's wrong with it. This is a nice truck, but it needs some work. It needs a clutch and front rocker arms. Front rocker arms. 4-cylinder. Front rocker arms? 256,000 miles on it. That's a 2003. Isn't that the one that's got a Mazda engine in it? If that's a Mazda, that means that's the north-south. That's a 20. They call that thing the 23NS. In other words, it's the engine that's in the Fusion, except it's it's north and south. It's rear-wheel drive. So those things don't have. That's an overhead cam engine. So it's got followers possibly, but something ain't right about that. Front rocker arms. There's more to that story for sure. To be continued. Alright, what is this? We're probably going to run this on through more than 20 minutes because I'm having fun with this. There's somebody's address. 1988 Chevy R-Series. This truck is, let's look at it first. It's wrong wheelbase. That's what it is. Got the burned off seat right there. Somebody's ass is drugged the edge of the seats. From a small block. Somebody's been into it because the valve covers are painted red and they're not normally red. I had one with that engine and it ran a bunch of miles too. They're good engines. Yeah. Okay, my takeaway on this is just a totally average truck. So what's the story behind it? This truck is two-tone red and silver. The body's in good condition. Transmission has a high gear going out on it. That's what mine did. The seat has a bad place on it and may need replaced. No, the seat may need to be replaced. It does need to be replaced. You can't fix that. You can drive it, but you have to go slow. That's what I did. After mine got stuck in second gear, I had to go slow too. Like 40. God. Bless their hearts of pieces of shit people try to sell on here. Alright, here's an interesting one. This is an 88 Jeep Comanche. This is basically a Jeep Cherokee of that year. It's made into a truck. There's a guy down the road down here who's got one that's been, he just drives there every once in a while. It's not very nice looking, but alright, let's see. I'm selling my beat up Comanche because I don't have the knowledge, time, or will to fix it up. Well, this guy's, at least right off the bat, he's honest. He knows his limitations. He's getting it out in front. He's admitting it. So now we move on from here. Alright, the 4.0 engine in it is rebuilt, runs smooth and strong. That's good. I hit deer in it twice. That's not good. The door eventually fell off. That's not good. Right now, the right front tire feels and sounds like it's about to fall off the axle. Ball joints, tie rod ends, wheel bearings. He's listing the possibilities. That's not good either. It will still drive down the road, but at this point, it's kind of at your own risk. Hell, man, that's like anything you buy on Craigslist for this money. It's all at your own risk. It has rust holes in the front floorboard. I have the original door if someone wanted to fix that. I have a new rear windshield with slider window that I never had installed. The transmission works well, and like I said before, the engine runs great and strong. It was rebuilt by Billy Cigar Holt. Look at this. That's his name, Billy Cigar Holt from Florence, Alabama. Or so I was told. He doesn't know it for sure.
Do you have paperwork for that? Is documentation?
Odometer shows 160 something. I've put a little under 20,000 miles on it since I haven't rebuilt engines all 4 years ago. Nonetheless, for someone who wants a Comanche, this is a good start, I think. It's nothing that can be fixed. Don't want to tell how much has been invested in this truck. It's probably, well, saddens me to let it go to this price. Well, here's my opinion about that. Whatever money you put into it, you didn't put it in the right stuff. You didn't fix the suspension, and you didn't fix the stuff that's falling off. That's what people do. They tell themselves that they're taking care of their vehicles, but they spend money on one thing, and then they think, well, that's a lot. I put a lot of money into that vehicle. That's a lot of money in that vehicle. No. Alright, anyway, I own 3 vehicles. I suppose got to keep the nicest, newest one. It's nicest and newest for now. Let's wait till it gets this treatment. All others must go. I also sell a VW Vanagon in pretty rough cosmetic shape. It runs fairly well, but needs a lot of work too. Well, that one might be worth a little bit. And then this one probably be worth a little bit, I guess. Ew. Well, then again, maybe not. Hit deer in it. That engine's a good one, and the transmission, oh, that's a manual. Yeah, it's got some rust hole in it there. Yeah, cover your tag up, dude. Somebody might come steal your truck. Well, I don't know about that. I guess you're just in love with the Comanche, but yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to keep on continuing, so I'm going to stop this before my clip runs over. Or maybe I'll just let it run over on its own. So I'll just talk a little bit about random stuff here. And then it's going to start a new clip. There's a 65 Ford Comet fender. If anybody's looking for one of those, there it is. Yeah, oh boy. I see a minivan. I love minivans. Alright. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beep! Alright then, so let's continue along. Here we go with a 2003 Mercury Monterey. That's just a version of a freaking Windstar, or a Freestar they call them. We had one of those, a couple of those in our company, and those things were terrible. Here I have a 2003 Mercury Monterey that held in a single mom's cell. She's had the vehicle for 3 years and has been a daily driver ever since then. If you guys notice that I dislike misspellings and poor grammar, and you wouldn't believe the people that on YouTube, the people that will get angry if you try to helpfully correct their spelling. I mean, I understand not everybody's good at spelling things, but you know, the thing is, you can get on the internet and you can type out a word the way you think it's spelled, and it will pop up with the correct spelling, and all you gotta do is copy and paste it, and there you go. You've learned something.
No. You must be some school teacher. You some English expert?
Alright. It has a very clean engine and engine bay. That's good. But can't say the same about the interior, which has seen better days. Well, that's for sure. It has 200,000 miles. It does make a knocking noise on the driver's side. It goes away once you hit the 30-mile-an-hour mark. So we got one that you can't drive over about 40, and then you got another one that's got to drive more than 30 or it makes some kind of noise.
There's a device in this van. If you drive over 30, it won't blow. If you drive less than 30, it's gonna blow and kill everybody. What do you do?
The AC works, but will need to be recharged. That's not working. That's not working. It acts like it's working, but it's not. AC that works means it continues to work. She's asking 1050 OBO. My name is Santos. Santos. You can call or text me at nope, 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 and no. These are things that you find these things on every buy here, pay here car lot, every cheap car lot there is. Here's your 78 Ford F-150 long wheelbase, $500. That's in my old hometown down there in Guntersville. I have a 1978 F-150 Ranger long wheelbase, which was a nice truck when they were new. 351 modified 400. Well, it's not both, dude. It's 351M. Very strong motor. I've had this truck about a year. I really love it. Plan to keep it, to fix it up. I just don't have the time. The only issue is the torque converter bolts fell out driving down the road. Prior to this, I was driving 20 miles a day to work. Very good running truck as far as rust. It has some surface rust and it needs 4 pounds. Other than that, pull saw truck. Needs a sale, S-A-L-E, today. What can you tell Alabama is so high on the educational standards in this state? Make a reasonable offer and she's yours. Have no title due to age. You don't need one. That's right. Currently tied to my name. Have to be hauled or due to torque converter loose. So let's dissect this a little bit. So the reason why you can't just put the bolts back in and drive it away if you brought some bolts with you is because it damaged something when they came out. It either damaged the flex plate or it damaged the converter, but either way, the transmission probably, very likely, has to come out. $500, so be yours. Here's a '89 Ford Ranger, $600. That's up there in Pulaski. Needs a transmission, otherwise we're a good truck, clean title. Manual transmission. That's too bad. Here's it's a wrecked one. We don't like wrecked. Here's a '93 Chevy C1500, $1,000. This truck's been wrecked, but it still drives and runs great. All it needs is a tune-up. Now, okay, which is it? If it runs great, then that means you don't need a tune-up. You need a tune-up if it's not running great. Why don't you say that what's really going on with it? Say it still drives and it runs fairly well, but it needs a tune-up. It has 4 new tires. They've only been on for a couple months. There's no leaks. There are no leaks or anything on it. It has a bed cover with it. I just got to put it on if you want it. Alright, see how bad it is. Ugh. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's another thing too, guys. I detest those kind of interiors with those big old funky looking center console things. Ugh. Whoops, got license. And those, ooh, I would never buy a truck that has one of those. But stuff like that doesn't age very well. It looks good when it's new, but now it just screams 1990. Here's your an 80. Well, let me do it the right way. Either a 1989 Ford F-150 or an 89 F-150. Take your pick. 6-cylinder, 2-door long bed. That's a possibility. $800 right here in town. 89 Ford F-150 fuel injected 6-cylinder straight shift on the floor. That's a Mazda transmission, by the way. 2-door long bed will make a great farm or work truck. Will start but won't stay running. And it's been cleaned out too, by the way. Yeah, everything's good now. Well, it's got old tag on it, so evidently it's been sitting quite a long time. Yeah. Like I said, you can't have your standards too high, but you just gotta decide what you want to tackle. Here's an 83 Jeep CJ7 body, no motor, had Chevy motor, have trans case, good seats, it has Chevy half-ton axles. Boy, that thing's a Frankenstein, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's Frankenstein. There's your 300ZX, Stephen. 86 300ZX, 5-speed transmission. Motor that is in the car doesn't run. There's also a spare motor to go with it. All original. Could be a project with a good parts car. I never see those much anymore. Like I said, my buddy there, Stephen, he did have a newer one, I think, or two of them. Here's something I could catch on fire real easy. A G30 Chevy cargo van. Oh man, I see some rust. That's up there in Tennessee. I have a 96 Chevy G30 cargo van to sell. No longer need. It's been a daily driver until recently. Okay, what happened recently that made it no longer a daily driver? The van has a Jasper crate motor with around 40,000 miles on it. That's good. The van and chassis have around 220,000 miles. That ain't too good. It does not have AC. It does run and drive and needs some TLC. Remember that band TLC? There's a leaking brake hose in the front. Has an oil leak somewhere. I'd say it's probably out of the engine. The tailpipe at the rear needs to be reattached. And there's a small gas leak from the top of the tank after it sits for a few days. That thing has got a lot of rust on it. So if it's got a lot of rust there outside, it's probably got a lot of rust under it. So all those leaks probably have a lot to do with that. The rocker has been rusted out. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably got some bad mojo going on. Wow. When you ever see one of these again, I don't know why we got cars in here, but I had to look at this one. 94 Ford Tempo starts, drives, runs 220,000 miles, new starter and water pump. Well, there you go. $600. Modern people wouldn't buy that though, would they? Here's what I need. I can park this one in the back along with the other one I've got already. 2002 Mitsubishi Montero Sport. That happened. Needs a motor. Still runs and drives. Well, that's the problem of mine. Needs a motor. Except I can't find a motor for mine. Alright, here's your 2004 Toyota Prius 1.5 liter. $900. I know we're supposed to be looking at trucks, but somehow this got off on. Oh, I know what it is. That does this whenever you start running out of trucks. So we're going to change something here. Let's look at this one. Very good drivetrain. Outside pain and okay, I bet. All right, let's get back to trucks. All right, I'm gonna. Since we got on the cars here accidentally, let me change locations. Let's look in Birmingham. Tried to trick me, didn't it? Okay, here's a 74 Ford F100 pickup truck. Looks pretty rough. That'd be a perfect truck to put on a YouTube video to get running after it's been sitting there all that long time, wouldn't it? My father passed away back in August of last year. I'm sorry to hear that. We were at the time in the process of getting this running. We had the fuel tank recoated. Ugh, I hate recoating tanks because I'm of the belief that that stuff is not going to stay recoated forever. And replaced the fuel tube, the fuel lines, the fuel pump, the carburetor, the starter, and I want to think the points. We had it running, but it was running rough. When we took it up the road, the front brakes locked down. Either the lines are clogged or slave cylinders need to be rebuilt. No, it's something with the lines probably. The engine is a 240 inline straight six. It's the small one. Straight six. The body's in good shape with a couple of very small minor holes in the floorboard. There's a larger hole underneath the driver's seat that I noticed. Transmission is 3-on-3. Manual with a gear shift on the steering column. This has not been run over years since this, so if I have time I can keep it, I'll find good home. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Here's one. I like the looks of these little trucks, and you know, if I just could do with having a small truck, I guess I'd look into buying one. Ever since I had that 85, I just really like these, but they're just not capable for much more than just carrying some minor stuff around. Here's a good little S10 for someone to fix up or through the 350 or LS swap. I was going to have too many projects at this time, don't we all? Truck has a 2.8 liters jump time. It did run, turns over freely, automatic transmission. Alright. It's too bad it's an automatic though. Yeah, ain't that clean, is it? But again, it's 30-something years old. Well, here's another Nissan Frontier hardbody. Nissan hardbody. What's its problems? As is Nissan hardbody for sale. Has been set 2 years. The original problem was engine overheating due to leaking elbow joint hose from radiator to the engine block. That's the original problem. So what problem is it now? There's $460. Well, my money tells me hell no. Alright, here's a 9712 Tacoma. Now, I'm like you. I'm sure that this truck probably runs great. It's probably got cold air. There's probably nothing wrong with it. It's probably only got about 90,000 miles on it, right? It's got a clean title. It's original owner. You just let it sit for a little while. It's just been sitting for a while. That's all. He didn't drive it enough. That's why he wants to get rid of it for $950. You have a 9712 Tacoma. Engine needs built. No. All parts go with it. New exhaust manifold, build kit, and ring bearing. Nah. It's two-wheel drive anyway. Nah. He bailed. Here's a farm truck. These things are so overdone now. Another Ford. Looks to have V8 in it. Okay. That's alright. I would say I wouldn't mess with those. Maybe if I found the right one. Here's a 87 Ford F250 XL. $800. Honestly, they don't make them like this anymore. Well, that's because they don't make 87 Ford F250s anymore. Just look at that engine. Dude, I've had one of those. Ain't that great? All it needs is a little TLC and maybe brakes. Just look at it. Just look at it. So what kind of engine we got in here? Look at that battery. Look at that engine. There it is. What engine are we looking at? That looks like a diesel. It is a diesel. Yep. Well, huh. I love those diesel trucks like that. I think they're quite the truck for the money sometimes, but they have some potential issues that can turn a cheap one into an expensive one. Here's another S10 to $700. Here's a 90 S10 4-cylinder, needs passenger side window, work on the brakes, 5-speed manual, rough but reliable. I use it 4 years my daily work truck. Perfect with somebody for mechanical skills who's looking for a gas saver. Yeah, be alright. $700, just need a little truck. I'd probably do it, maybe. Excuse me, sorry about that. Here's a, oh, look at this. Here's a 98 Dodge Ram 1500 SLT four-wheel drive truck. It's been rolled. You know what I could do? I could take my truck and this truck and I could make a four-wheel drive out of it. I could spend $2,000 for both of them and then spend another $1,000 on converting it over, or $1,500 on converting it, all the stuff. And then I'd still have a truck worth about $1,800. Alright. Here's a 98 Dodge Ram 1500 SLT 5.2 liter, and I'm going to tell you something, those engines are underpowered. A 5-speed manual overdrive, 271,000 miles on it. Truck obviously was upside down at one point. Yeah. Truck will fire right up and transmission shifts out fine. Four-wheel drive works as it should. Front window has been removed since this picture, and driver's window is out too. Currently there's tarp over the truck to prevent water from getting in the cabin. I have to ask you, why are you really worried about it at this point? Explain to you this, I can't put plans have changed. Yeah, plans have changed when it got turned over. Why don't you just do this, dude? Why don't you get the Sawzall out there and cut the damn top off of it? Cut it right across right there. No top anymore. Make a convertible truck out of it with no windshield. Bless their hearts. You know, I don't mean to ridicule people, but they take pictures of stuff like this, like it's still a nice truck. It's, what is that? Oh, that's a tailpipe hanging down. Oh, okay. I thought that might have been its ding-a-ling sticking out. Okay. Here's a, here's some kind of, looks like a Ford. Work truck, runs great, buy today. 94 F-150 claims single cab. What? Where did these words come from? Claims. Single cab rear-wheel drive automatic. Cranks. Runs good. Stops. Rebuilt transmission with a receipt from mechanic. Price is only for today. Available to show from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Text, but no calls. This is another one of these that kind of annoys the crap out of me, because it's like, you know, I have a truck up for sale. I've said this before. I'm going to repeat myself. I have a truck up for sale, but I'm going to make it really difficult for you to come look at it and buy the thing. You got to only be here between 1 and 2 p.m. Only today. Only text me. You know, keep the thing. Keep the thing. If you don't want to be more accessible, then you need to hang on to it. All right, how about a 98 Chevy truck? Needs motor and a battery. I love those pictures. They're really descriptive. Needs motor and a battery. I think I'm going to hold out for one just needs a battery. All right, Ford Ranger, $400. Ford truck, water in the oil, no title, great body and trans. Yeah. Here's another Ford Ranger, $1,000. Listed for sale is my 89 Ford Ranger, great running hunting truck, 4-wheel drive, works great. The only negatives about this truck is the clutch needs bled or may need a new slave cylinder, not sure. Is that one that's inside the transmission, I wonder? I'm not a mechanic, but I'll tell you what happened to it if you want to give me a call. There's some rust in the bed towards the cab. Also, there's a switch issue. I have a new switch for it. Cranks runs fine, though. I just don't have time to mess with the truck. But, well, that means you just don't want to mess with it. There's a Ford Focus for sale. There's a Dodge D250. I'll do that real quick, and then we're going to do one more session. Here's a 87 D250 with a 318 and 727 torque flight trans, 3/4 ton, and a Dana 60 in the back. It slipped out of drive and reverse only catches 50% of the time. I just serviced trans last week. New filter, pan gasket, and fluid. Well, you ain't fixing that because the high clutch is burned out of it. The third and reverse clutch is burned right up. That was what was wrong with that. That was what was wrong with that Dart I had. I had to rebuild the transmission in it. It's done. Needs a transmission or needs that rebuilt. There is no fixing that one because reverse runs off the same thing. Oh well. Bummer. Alright, let's click over and go to the one more. Alright then, so is everybody having fun? We've saw all these trucks and we've only got through 2 cities so far. How about that? We'll take forever to get this done. Now I'm gonna do one more 20-minute session. That's gonna be 60 minutes. So okay, so here we got a GMC Chevy Suburban, $800. It's a 2-wheel drive. I would absolutely not consider any 2-wheel drive Suburban. Same thing with a 2-wheel drive Blazer. I've gotten enough things like that stuck in my life that. Alright, the bolt hole for the starter's messed up. It's supposed to have a good engine, transmission, and rear end. The engine is a 5.7 Vortec. Needs seat covers as the seats are messed up. There's a lot of stuff messed up here. It needs paint. That's because the paint's messed up too. Could be a sharp truck with a little work, may trade. Nobody wants to fool with it. Nobody wants to fool with it. No. That might be a good swap candidate. What somebody could do is get that thing for about half that price or less, and pull the engine transmission out of it and junk the rest of it. Those good old high quality leather seats that GM made or had made. Anyway, for those of you who don't know about the starter bolts on those things, on the starter on a small block Chevy, there's 2 bolts on the starter that hold it up to the engine, and the bolt holes are in the engine block. So if somebody's either stripped one of them or they broke it out. My money would be on they broke it out, so you can't bolt the starter up anymore. It's over. Okay, 97 Ford Ranger, $750, West Block. Been through there before. Here's a 1997 Ford Ranger XL V6 air automatic AM/FM cassette. Ooh, cassette. Odometer shows 216,000 miles. However, it is stopped. The odometer stopped. We believe the truck to have about 350,000. Motor's needing work or is needing to be replaced. The head's cracked. Truck was working fine prior to the head cracking. Truck has new tires, very few miles on it. They were new when it was parked. It's been sitting a while. They're not new now. It's automatic, 6-cylinder. Yeah, that would be I think that's a 3.0 liter. Those things are, some are kind of known for that. I'll pass. Another Dodge Dakota. Truck is in fair shape, needs a little bit of work. It will crank and run, needs oil pan gasket put on it. I started the job but can't finish it. Trans is a 4-speed auto but doesn't shift into 4th. It's got an electric overdrive. I wonder what happened to that. Motor runs good. It doesn't smoke or use oil. Has new windshield. 750 LBO. There again, it's up to you whether you want to put money into something like that. Here's another Ford Ranger. I thought Ford Rangers were good trucks. A lot of them on here. Here's a 2002 automatic Ford 4.0 V6. Motor has 170,000. Transmission good. Body good condition. Hasn't been wrecked. Interior good. Missing steering column and driver's back seat glass. No title. Yeah. Here's one for me. GM 85 GM S15. $1,000. Good work truck. 206,000 miles. Is that an automatic? Nope, that's a 4-speed. That's just like the one I had. The only thing that kills it for me, I guess, is that I remember mine was only like about 6 or 7 years old at that point, and it did not have a ripped up seat like that. But the paint on mine was already faded some. Alright, we're running back into the cars again. Here's one. Here's a Mazda Be 2300 extended cab, which is just a rebadged Ranger. 95 Mazda Be 2300 extended cab pickup. One owner, 5-speed, 4-cylinder box, 139,000 miles. Light damage to passenger side front fender wheel hub. Was daily driver. No engine issues. No transmission issues. That's good. Comes with a toolbox. Fix myself, but don't have a place to do it out of the weather or the time. All parts can be found local. Pull apart. Price is firm. So what's happened to it? That's the old engine. That's the one. It's the Ford engine actually. Something with a hub. He hit something with it. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be afraid that there's some frame damage in that thing. That's pretty bad. Explorer. Oh, a Ford Explorer. Explorer. Let's see what the old Explorer has to offer for us. Ford Explorer. He did it twice. Explorer up there, Explorer down here. 2004, loaded, leather, all power. Diesel will work. Runs good, cold air. It's hard to find a good Ford Explorer. Alright, let's change cities again. Run out of prospects. How about Chattanooga? Chattanooga's a progressive city. Sure, they'll have some pickups. Okay, here's a 83 Chevy 2500 in Pikeville. That's way up there. I got a 83 Chevy 2500. It needs an engine. The old one had a broken connecting arm. Already removed the old engine. Only asking $800. Why do people do that? Why do people think that stuff like this, it's like a hand or something, that or a finger, if your finger gets infected and it's got gangrene, you know, sometimes it gets bad enough and you don't get it checked, then you have to have it amputated. Why do people have that same philosophy about cars? If the air conditioner doesn't work, take it off. If the engine's blown up, take it out, and then we'll figure out what to do. Once we get whatever's bothering us out of there, then we'll decide what to do with it. Well, a 98 Lincoln Navigator, $999. The two-wheel drive. I detest two-wheel drive SUVs. Lincoln Navigator, multiple CD changer. Head gasket is blown. It is still crawling along. Just can't go over 50. If you want to fix it, it's a luxurious ride, lots of room, 199,000 miles. No. Take it to the junkyard, get rid of it, take the money and run. That thing is aged out. It's done. 2004 GMC Canyon truck. Now those tend to have engine problems. I wonder if that's this problem. Ugh. Where's the wheels at? For parts, bill sale only, 5-cylinder auto, motor stuck. You get the whole truck for $800. HOLE, whole. Yeah, if you want to get a good education, come to the South. We'll teach you how to talk good. 84 Dodge truck. I had a few of those. The only thing I don't care for them is the cab is really tight on them. Alright. Yeah. Dodge D150 two-wheel drive, runs, drives, needs to work. Transmission slips. These battery tires. You know, that's another thing. Torque flight transmissions have this thing, you know, they're mythologically, their mythology tells people that they're indestructible. But there's plenty of them that are blown up and slipping and other problems. Here's a 93 Ford F-150, $800. Straight six, clean title, needs a battery, driver, rear tire, and a tune-up. It was running when I parked it a month ago. Just got a new vehicle. I had to have time to mess with it. Need it gone. That's right. See? And it comes with a complimentary bed full of garbage. I wouldn't do that anyway. You know what? Even if it's something I sort of wanted like that, if it had garbage in it, I wouldn't buy it. There's no way. Here's a 2000 Dodge Dakota standard cab. Pretty nice cab bed topper on it. Needs a motor. Good work truck for sale. Has a Lear high-rise cap worth $400. 3.9 V6. Block has a crack. Will need engine. Has been kept up with new muffler, shocks, ignition parts, starter, sensors, fan clutch. LKQ has a motor for $365. No time to do a swap. It just shocks me how many people in this country don't have time. How do you do anything? All you people don't have time for stuff. How do you do anything if you never have time? Well, we just don't want to do. We don't have time for that. We have time for other stuff. We don't have time for that. 95 Ranger, body's in good shape. Minor repairs are needed. Tune-up, timing belt, radiator flush, brakes, battery. I like it when they never tell you what the minor repairs are. I've driven a lot of cars and trucks that needs minor repairs, and I kept driving them. I don't know why they parked them. Here's a Nissan 4x4 with something missing off of it. Looks like it's been piled up. He had a light wreck a year ago, but was driven that way until a couple months ago. Well, there you go. See, I think the motor's bad now, but I don't know for sure. Head and top end are probably good. Frame is good. No damage, running good. 4-cylinder 5-speed. It's probably knocking. Yeah. Nope. It's junk. Here's a Vega. Georgetown. I've been through there, so there's another S10. I have an 87 Chevy S10 2.8 pickup for parts. Pickup for sale. Starts and runs great. The motor's out of an 86 S10. That's fine. Has 134,000 miles. Truck has 237. A lot of new parts. Brakes, diamond chain, gears, oil pump, fuel pump, starter, all emissions, new distributor, new rear wheel bearing, coolant never switch, new belt, oil change, spare passenger complete door. That's $800. Okay. Did all that work and they don't want it. Alright, whatever. Okay, here's an 88 F-250. Now I'm telling you, if I could find a good F-250, I might buy another one. That's the question though. 88 F-250 with a 351, those are a turd. Automatic C6 transmission, runs decent, but car could be rebuilt or swapped. You can drive it wherever as is. Radio and heat work. Gas gauge is a little floaty.
Floaty?
Yeah, that's a C6, and the thing about those things is they geared them low because, you know, you had to make a 3-speed automatic in a truck like that is a compromise. So a lot of times they have like a 355 gear or 375, 373, whatever. Some of them got a 410. So it's basically good for just pulling stuff at low speed. But anything more than that, you wouldn't want to drive it cross country. Here's a 96 Ford F-150, $400. She's a beaut. Asking $400 for this truck will need to be towed. Price is reasonable. They can offer. Boy, that must be one big POS. There's a part out Toyota. There's an 81 Datsun. These old trucks like this, man, these things seem to run forever. 81 Datsun pickup, runs and drives good. Yep, there you go. Good tires, new carb, plugs and wires, cap and button, 4-cylinder auto. Pretty solid for the year. Don't ask a lot of questions. It's an 81 truck. There you go. There's another one. See, he's telling it like it is. Don't ask a lot of questions. It's not new. I know why he's saying that, because $700 for him, because people, you know, I don't get it. Well, he's not helping himself. He only put one picture up, and there's no more pictures to see, so you're not getting a lot of details on it. But, you know, people will call you and just nag you to death with questions. And it's always the people that never do show up to even look at whatever it is. And in my experience, as far as being a buyer and a seller of stuff like this, that the people, myself included, that don't ask a lot of questions, that just say, I want to come look at it, they're the ones that want to buy something. The rest of them, they're just entertaining themselves. What kind of paint you got? What's the interior like? Yeah, that's one of them engines. Oh, I had one of those. I've had people talk me to death on stuff. Just talk. 87 S10 parts truck only, no title. Ow, my finger's going to sleep. Good running 2.8, 5-speed, new. Look at this one. There's one. There's a new word for you. Clurch. ND throwout bearer, no title. Salt has been recovered. Bad fuel pump and flywheel. This thing ain't got much going for it. Clurch. So what are you saying? You mean you don't have the title for it? Do you have a title for it? There's people, these idiots, they'll read ads like this, and they'll still ask the same question. Do you have a title? I told you I don't have the effing title, you dumb rock, you. Here's an 84 F-250, $700. Got the old red door going on it. Behind the Red Door. Was that not a movie? There was a adult movie at one point called something Behind the Door. 302 AOD. It's an interesting combination for a F-250. Is owned for 20 years. Ran drive a year ago. Low miles on new motor. Carb rusted and stuck. What? Golly. How does a carburetor rust? I guess it's got water down in it. Motor trans worthwhile on it for truck. No checks. No, it's not. When you're buying a motor for something, bigger is better. Here's a 98 wrecked Dodge Ram V6. Broken tie rod. Yeah. That's okay. Here's a very rough 2001 Nissan Frontier, $950. I have sell a 2001 Nissan Frontier. I'll say needs an automatic transmission, motor runs smooth, four-wheel works. Trans can be replaced and would make a great farm or travel truck used for parts. So how does somebody take a truck like that that started out really nice and abuse it so much for so long that it's in that kind of condition? All right, here's your Ranger for sale or trade. 5-speed, $800 a trade for running four-wheeler. 200,000+ miles, bunch of new parts on it. Husband was driving it one day and the truck died. Could smell something burning. Whatever it was did not catch fire and it was not under the hood. Whatever it was came from behind the cab. It's been a great truck up until now. Will not crank. Here's another 19. They just put the year in the title. 1990. $1,000. Runs and drives. Yep. So you see where this is going. They either look good and they don't run, or they look terrible and run fine, or they're old. Here's a 99 Ford F-150 XLT extended cab. Now I had, like I said, I had a 2002. That was a nice driving and running truck. I hate to say that, you know, if you don't like Fords, but it was very nice, a lot more comfortable. It was used for a work truck, got water in the oil, engine has 50,000 miles on it. Like it needs an engine flush and a head gasket. Yeah, well, anybody with any common sense knows what's involved in fixing an engine like that. So, 95 Chevy 1500 Silverado 5-speed 4.3 liter, $800. 95 Chevy truck. Boy, they're writing some extensive ads, aren't they? It was my dad's truck, and he passed away recently. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, too. Bless his heart. It has been sitting for about 6 months because it had some kind of problem in the throttle. If you pressed the gas too hard, the engine would start to cut out. My dad had been replacing parts on it, though he didn't. See, there you go. He didn't know what was wrong with it. Rest his soul. He just started replacing stuff like playing the lottery till we get to what it is. And although he didn't get it running right, it was running. I was going to fix it, but I haven't had time, so I decided to sell it like it is. Someone can use it. I do know manual transmission was working good. The tires have good tread, and the interior is in shape. It's a terrible on driver's thing. Yeah, that'd be all right. It's not a bad looking truck. You can get it for a lot less than that, hopefully. Well, I don't know. Oh, I'm going to end this on one of my favorites. One of my favorite vehicle of all time. A 2002 Ford Explorer Mechanic Special. I just have $500. I'd just like to you know, I was going to take that $500. I was just going to burn it. But I think I'll buy this instead. I have a 2002 Ford Explorer. Has a broken timing chain. Yes, that's what I was hoping was wrong with it. Body's in good shape and the interior is good as well with leather. Clean clear title. Yes. Perfect. I got room in the yard back here. I'll just haul this one home and let it sit. I'll sit here every day and think about it, what I can do to fix it. I'll tell you something. Here's my professional home mechanic opinion of these things. These things suck. They suck, and you're crazy if you ever buy one of these, of any variety. The newer versions of just about every vehicle like this is out there now are so much better than these. It's crazy. Alright guys, thanks for this checking in on this marathon session. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll do it again sometime soon. See ya.